I had to re-record this because I was recording through my headphones and the audio sounded like poo-poo, so let's try again. Hey fellas, so while I continue to slave away on my massive video on the Avatar Netflix remake thing, I needed something to talk about in the meantime, because that video is going to take forever to finish, so what shall I talk about in the meantime? Oh, there's a new Kung Fu Panda movie. So what's my connection to Kung Fu Panda? Oh, you know, it's just my favorite animated movie series of all time. I'm not joking either. I love these movies so much, and I have such an emotional, attachment to them. I think all three of them are great. Kung Fu Panda 1 is a perfectly paced movie. It's, really funny, too. It has great animation for the time. The fight scenes are insane, and the emotion is on point. It's great. Kung Fu Panda 2, paced a little worse, but overall it's my favorite just because of how it makes me feel. That climax with the boats is the coolest thing in the world. It has some excellent scenes. It's very, very artsy in comparison to the other ones, and Lord Shen is the best animated movie villain of all time. Kung Fu Panda 3 is definitely the weakest. The pacing's a little off, but I still think it's a perfect ending that brings everything full circle. Mr. Ping is in it the most, so that's good. Kai is a great villain. Yeah, I said that. What are you gonna do about it? But see, that's the issue, because Kung Fu Panda 3 was an ending, so there was always the question with the potential fourth movie of whether or not it should even exist. Does the story have enough, room to grow? Is there enough more you could do with this thing? And now that it's out, the answer is not really. So turns out I don't like this movie very much, and that is such a deeply sad feeling. I had pretty high hopes given how much Jack Black was hyping it up, but man, it's just not very good. Spoilers ahead and whatnot. Okay, let's just start talking. Here we go. So I really don't like being negative, at all, so we're actually just gonna start with the positives here. And I think the biggest compliment is the animation. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda movies always look gorgeous, and this is probably the best looking one so far. I mean, okay, 3 probably looks a little better, but, it still looks really good. I saw a lot of people saying that it should have used the Puss in Boots: The Last Wish art style. Could not disagree more. The thing about Last Wish is that it was kind of meant to reinvent the Shrek series for a modern audience. It wasn't continuing a story. Kung Fu Panda is a series that continues its story one after the other. This movie's called Kung Fu Panda 4, not Kung Fu Panda insert different title. Puss in Boots 2 isn't even called Puss in Boots 2, it's called The Last Wish, so there. I don't know, I love the new, modern trend with animation, but, I kind of miss realistic 3D, you know, so this was nice. It was kind of a throwback. I liked it. Another big positive for me is Zhen, the Awkwafina character of all things. I think she was really fun. I think Awkwafina, whose voice I really don't like as most characters, actually really works here, but I think I figured out why. She's always cast as dumb sidekick characters who are just they're stupid, and that's the joke, and I don't think she works for that. She fits a lot better as this sort of snarky, smart character. This con artist thief. I think she really works in the role, and she actually made me like the character a lot more on top of just having a good design and good character animation. Yeah, I like Zhen. She's good. I didn't see the twist with her betraying Po coming, but I don't know. It wasn't set up very well. I like it in theory though. I just think it could have been executed better. It's fine. I also think that her relationship with Po just wasn't sold really well. I never really bought them as friends even by the end, but I think that's just a bigger issue that we'll get into later that applies to a lot of things with this movie. But anyway, I liked Li and Ping's bromance and their subplot. It was very funny. I also like that Mr. Ping, the best character in this series, got the big emotional moment near the end. That made me happy, especially considering, okay, look, James Hong is old. He's 95. He's probably not going to be able to do another one of these movies, so I'm glad that they gave him this moment for what could be his last time with the character. I also think there were, a few good jokes, and the whole final battle was neat. Not the part right before the final battle, the literal final battle. It was neat. And, oh yeah, I like Jack Black singing Britney Spears during the credits. Is that it? That's it. Okay, let's move on. I'm sad. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. The Chameleon is the worst villain in this entire saga. She has a great design, and the performance is pretty good, but wow, I just don't feel anything. There's no threat with her, and also, her backstory makes no sense. Like, for this franchise, it's revealed that she tried to train in Kung Fu, but no master would accept her because she's too small. But that makes no sense, because Mantis is a character. It feels like no thought was put into the backstory, which, oh yeah, turns out actually true. According to this, Mike Mitchell didn't even want to give her a backstory. Why? She also breaks movie tradition because each of the Kung Fu Panda villains was connected to a major character. Tai Lung was Shifu's adopted son and failed student. Shen murdered all of Po's people, like he's a monster. Kai was Oogway's brother in arms and was betrayed by Oogway and then like built up the bitterness and stuff. It's pretty simple. What does the chameleon have? The answer is nothing, except a cool design and cool powers and underdeveloped everything else. She's also just like really poorly written. You know that scene in Rogue One that everyone acts like is the worst writing ever where Vader makes a dad joke before strangling Krennic? Well yeah, she kind of just does that, but here it's actually bad. Anyway, there's every new character of note. Let's talk about the old ones. Oh wait, what old ones? So, besides Ping and Lee, the only old characters who have any sort of relevance are Po and Shifu. Let's start with Shifu. This is not Shifu. This is a completely different character. He is way too angry at Po here. It feels like he regressed so hard. It genuinely made me uncomfortable at times how not Shifu this character is. So as such, I'm not even gonna call him Shifu. I'm gonna call him Angry Rat. So Angry Rat tells Po that he needs to stop being the Dragon Warrior and become spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, which is so dumb. Because look, at least in Cars 3, right, when Lightning McQueen had to retire, the movie opens with him crashing, showing that like, oh yeah, he needs to retire. Po opens this movie by beating up a bad guy like usual. There's no reason for him to retire, so this is stupid already. Anyway, Angry Rat does nothing in this movie except be angry and make jokes about how much he hates Po, which is, did you watch Kung Fu Panda 1? This movie has so many references to Kung Fu Panda 1 specifically, and yet it undoes Shifu's entire character arc. He has regressed. Oh, I said Shifu, I meant Angry Rat. I'm so sorry. And as for Po, they made him so much more childish. It's like they undid all the mature development he had in the other movies. By the end of movie 3, he was a little silly, sure, but he was a respectable Kung Fu master. Here, though, I am shocked this guy can get out of bed in the morning. Hey, who is this? This is not Po. He's fine, but like, not my Po. And also not my Shifu, that's Angry Rat. Anyway, you might have heard that this movie also brings back all the old villains, but also not really because Tai Lung is the only one to speak, and the others don't have any lines, and they don't really do anything, except they all bow to Po after he defeats the chameleon, which might be the single most out-of-character thing in this entire movie. I was really excited to see Tai Lung again too, man. That was really disappointing. He was still fun for when we had him, but the bow is ridiculous. He would never. The Furious Five appear at the very end, and I was happy to see them. They don't talk, obviously. That would be ridiculous. And Mantis screams, and Monkey looks unfinished, and so does Kai, by the way. What's going on here? Did y'all get a little rushed? I want to end the review section with an analogy I came up with. So, you know the infamous fart scene that was in the trailer? Here, let me just play it for you.
Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back.
Okay, so you see that? That is acclaimed Kung Fu Panda protagonist Po, a super nuanced, deep character, sneezing, getting his nose covered by celebrity-voiced Awkwafina, and farting. But at least the fart had nice animation that was stylized. And I know throughout all this I didn't really talk about the plot, but that's because there kind of just isn't one. Po needs to go stop the chameleon, and the chameleon wants to steal the scepter he got from Oogway. That's it. That's the entire plot. That is the plot of Kung Fu Panda 4. I like the idea of revolving the sequel around an artifact that he got in a previous movie, but like, there needs to be something else here. some emotion, something. I also even feel like the idea of Po needing to train a protege is a good one, and you could make that story work, but it shouldn't be about the title of Dragon Warrior. That doesn't make any sense. It should be about Po needing to find new replacements for the Furious Five, since this movie specifies they're all out on missions. So why not have Po need to find some new warriors to protect the valley while everyone else is on missions? I don't know, man. It's also paced terribly. This movie needed more time. It needed more time to develop the bond between Po and Jin. It needed time to flesh out the chameleon. It needed time to just do anything resembling, like, nuance? I don't know. 5 out of 10.